Hi, my name is Miss Newlove and I'm one of the hosts of a brand new show brought to you by Bethel Foundation.
The Wellbeing Show is to help reach BAME families, to help with mental health, support and emotional needs. The Wellbeing Show streams live every Tuesday at 8 to 9 p.m. on Diversity Radio via Facebook, YouTube and Mixcloud. So tell your family and friends to tune in as we discuss topics that affect our well-being. The Wellbeing Show is proudly sponsored by NHS South London and Maudsley, the National Lottery Community Fund, and partnered with Real Insight, Base, 60 Seconds Creative Studio, and Gold Diggers Talk Show.
Hi, my name is Miss New Love, and I'm one of the hosts of a brand new show brought to you by Bethel Foundation.
The Wellbeing Show is to help reach BAME families, to help with mental health, support, and emotional needs. The Wellbeing Show streams live every Tuesday at 8 to 9 p.m. on Diversity Radio via Facebook, YouTube, and Mixcloud. So tell your family and friends to tune in as we discuss topics that affect our well-being. The Wellbeing Show is proudly sponsored by NHS South London and Maudsley, the National Lottery Community Fund, and partnered with Real Insight, Base, 60 Seconds Creative Studio, and Gold Diggers Talk Show. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Vestel Foundation's The Wellbeing Show. It's Tuesday, the 8th of November, and today we will be highlighting mental health Month and also Black History Month, which all took place in October. We have two special guests with us, and I'm so excited to have our country coordinator, George Bassa-Simmons from Ghana, who will be giving us a highlight of what happened in Ghana during October. And then we also have an amazing special person called Miss Millie Hyde. But before everyone comes on and before my co-host, the amazing Jacqui Obeng comes on, we always have to give a shout out and a big thank you to our sponsors and partners. Our sponsors are South London and Maudsley NHS, also the National Lottery Community Fund. Our partners are 60 Seconds Creative Studio, Diversity Radio, which we're live on now on Facebook. Base, Become a Successful Entrepreneur, which belongs to my co-host Jacqui Obeng, and Gold Diggers Talk Show, which belongs to myself. So all of us together, make this show happen, the Wellbeing Show. And as I said, today we're highlighting what happened in October. So Jacqui, are you with me?
Yes, I'm here. Good evening and welcome
Good
to the Wellbeing Show. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. So, as you said, we're highlighting the Mental Health Month in October and also the Black History Month. We're really busy in October. It actually escaped us, which is very important month of the year, celebrating our Black history and also taking care of our well-being. And I know we've talked about what Bestel's been doing over the years, and also obviously we're going to talk about what has happened in the last month, highlights the best that's been going on within Bestel Child and Adult Foundation. So just a brief description and a background to Bestel Foundation, which is a charitable organization registered both here and in Ghana. The aim is to address the stigma of mental health within the Black African minority economic, which is the ethnic group. I don't know why I'm talking about economics. I've just done a lesson. Choose the BAME community. Honestly, I've had a busy day. Raising awareness, providing interventions, and supporting the well-being in the BAME community, I should say. Again, we've got a lot of stuff in. I think we've talked about all our stuff. So we'll go through that. So I'll skip that. Obviously, they've just come back from Accra. They've done tremendous work, which obviously George is not actually our guest. He's one of the Bestel team, which is going to go through what Bestel's done today. So again, we've got all the information on the screen going across on your screen on the show, which is bestelfoundation.org. That's the website. Facebook would be Bestel Foundation. Instagram is Bestel CAF, and Twitter is Bestel CAF as well. For assistance, if you want to contact the team, which is the Bestel team, you've got Stella. Stella is there, which is Mrs. Stella Ajiman. You've got Marianne, you've got Christabel, and you've got Hilda. All their telephone numbers are running across the screen if you need to get in contact with any of them. So we're just going to go straight into it, Eva, with highlighting our mental health. And let's see, George is going to tell us the, fabulous works they've done in Ghana.
Yeah, so just to remind everyone that we are also live on Bestel Foundation's YouTube page. So you can go there and also watch the show live. And don't forget to subscribe as well and share with your family and friends. As Jacqui said, we have George from Ghana with us, but just a little highlight on mental health and why mental health is celebrated in October. So the World Health Organization recognizes Mental Health Day on the 10th of October, which follows on through the month every year. And the theme for this year's Mental Health Day was make mental health and well-being a priority, a global priority for all. So we're going to invite George on. And as we said, we're going to discuss
Yeah, I'm here.
You are amazing.
Yeah, I'm here.
That's good. Really nice to hear your voice.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, can you tell us about yourself, who you are, what you do in Ghana, and then go through, we'll go through the dates with you so that we can prompt you of what's been done. So tell us who you are and your representation in Accra.
Thank you so much, my lovely people in UK, London. My name is George Bassa-Simmons, and for our team in UK to visit was not an exceptional. It was a fantastic program, and if you give me the green light, then I'll go through what we did.
Fabulous.
You.
Thank you so much.
Amazing.
So just a quick one. Eva, can you go through the staff that went to Ghana, please?
Yes. So the staff that went to Ghana, and please do correct me if I'm wrong, George, was Mrs. Stella Ajimai, CEO and founder of Bestel Foundation. We had Mr. Peter Hassler, who is the patron and a mental health consultant for Bestel. We had yourself, Mr. George Bassa-Simmons, who is the country coordinator. We had Mr. Sebastian. Sorry, we don't have your surname here, but we had Sebastian. You can tell us more about Sebastian later. Yes. We had Dr. Shusham Gupta, who's a consultant psychiatrist. We had who's been with Bestel all the way. We had Mrs. Anne Marie, and we had Hilda. So am I correct, George?
Yeah, you're correct, but I actually have to add some few guys who also work with me in Ghana.
Okay.
You know, I just we had Mr. Richard Dakun with me, and I have Eric. Eric was our cameraman, and then Lawrence. Lawrence was also a media personnel who also worked with us, and we also have Wizzy. Wizzy is Samson. Samson has been working with diversity with you guys, and
yes,
he was actually a key person. Yeah, Samson was a key person, in this October. And a couple of guys who also will help that I can't mention their names right now, but as we move on, when it comes to mind, I'll mention their names.
Okay. And then Mrs. Anne Mary as well was there. Anne Mary was there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and, I think Eva has mentioned that.
Oh, did she? And Auntie Hilda?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Hilda too. Yeah. Yeah. Eva has mentioned
Mr. Andy Che as well.
Yes, Andy came. Yeah, Andy attended a couple of our meetings in Accra and Kumasi as well. And he was fantastic. He was fantastic. Yes.
Good.
Uh-huh.
Good.
Yes, and also Alex Donko also joined us at a point. He was also with us. Alex Donko.
Alex from the UK as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And
Alex.
what's his role with Bestel? Because I don't know everybody in Bestel actually.
Yes, Alex actually opened the doors for us to get through to the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association.
Oh,
He actually
okay,
opened that door for us last year. And so far, they've been the highest numbers we've been working with in Ghana. And we appreciate that.
Fabulous.
Wow. Okay,
Thank
amazing.
you so much.
Thank you
So,
for letting us know.
Yeah, thanks for that.
So moving on swiftly, we're going to go straight into the itinerary. Jacqui,
exactly. Yeah, so I was just going to go over the acknowledging Peter's fundraising walk, where he was able to raise a grant for Bestel, which is part of the trip. He did very unbelievable dedication. He's got passion as our patron, and we're very much appreciated. So we can have that picture up, Joe. We raised £1,006 and 46 pence. Peter, were you there? Is this Kaswa? Can you tell us about this?
George.
I'm sorry, George.
Yes. The good thing is that when Bestel arrived in Ghana in October, they arrived actually on the 7th of October, they arrived in Accra. And interestingly, the next day, which is the Saturday, they were in Kaswa. What is happening in Kaswa is that before I used to live in Akosombo, and I moved in to live in Kaswa. And this is a new terrain altogether with new people I don't know from anywhere. So when I came here, it just came to my mind that let me bring the people together to know ourselves, which has never been done here before, to know ourselves and to help ourselves. They are not rich people. These are low class people. But since people are putting up very expensive houses here, I know in future rich people will be coming here. So I'm trying to put all of them together. Those who need help, we help them by ourselves. And Peter actually was happy about it and said, "Oh, George, if you do something like this, good, and Bessa will support it." So when they came here in October, I have been able to put together about 50 people amazingly, and we welcome Bessa to Ghana for the first time they come to. The next day that they arrived in Ghana, they were here and we welcomed them in Kaswa.
Fabulous.
Amazing. So this is the Kaswa Community Club that you've put together.
Yes.
And that is that Martin dancing over there?
Sorry?
Can you see the video?
Oh no, that's dancing. Something that's not Kaswa, but that's not Kaswa.
Isn't it? Okay.
No, it's not. It's not. This was in Kumasi actually, but I think Big Joe's just showing it. But yeah, so the Kaswa Community Club, how often do you, because I've noticed that
Eva.
Yes.
Yeah, Eva, I just want to add this quickly to it. When you're doing things in Ghana, I was able to bring this out of respect that they will have for me. We have our bank accounts at the moment. We've opened a bank account. We've drafted our constitution. We've also, come out with cards that they pay their dues every month. Everybody pays. Every month, everybody pays 5 cedis a month. And interestingly, at our last meeting, people were saying the 5 cedi was not enough. So voluntarily, people also contribute to this further. We can even use some to buy chairs and to buy ourselves some canopies. So it's becoming every month that we meet, something new comes out of it, and it's becoming more interesting every day.
That's amazing. So thank you for starting that, the Kaswa Community Club, Estelle. That's amazing, isn't it, Jacqui?
Oh yeah, it is.
It's almost shocking. Like
it's just that Victor hasn't got the right picture to put on the screen, because you see how the ladies are carrying the sachets of water. Yeah, it's on the script, Victor. If you could project that one, you see how grateful they were of the funds that was raised for them. It shows to say, they really need the money. Do you see what I mean? And we all need to get involved in supporting this wonderful cause that Peter has started, which is really good. But I'm just going to send this quickly. But can you tell us about? Obviously, you've told us about yourself. Accra over the last few years. And this goes to Josh.
Yes. In fact, I must say that for the past, only this year, this October, Best I think we were able to train more than about 4,000 people only this October. Because I must say that when we went to Holy Child, for example, we had more than almost 2,000 students and teachers, in the school, only Holy Child. So if we add those we trained at prisons and those we trained at Ghana Health Nurses and Midwives Association, plus the ones we did outside our terrains, I must say we trained almost 4,000 people this October in Ghana.
Amazing. So let's go in the order. So on Saturday the 8th, obviously we spoke about the Caswell Community Club. Sunday the 9th, that was
Yes, and if I want to take you through the after Caswell, that was on the 8th. But on the 10th, Bestel actually supported Ghana Mental Health Authority to launch the Mental Health Week in Accra. I mean, we were there, almost all the team were there in our numbers to support them. And on the next day, which is the 11th of October, Mental Health Authority gave Bestel, the audience to do some training for some professionals in Accra. And this was solely for Bestel to organize this, and we did it perfectly. In fact, we did it at Ridge Hospital, one of the best hospitals in Accra. That's where the venue was. And the resource persons, Ridge Hospital in Accra.
Oh, Ridge, okay, yeah.
Yes, and we had participants from Accra Psychiatric Hospital, Pantai Hospital, Kolebu Teaching Hospital. I mean, various units. Yes, they all attended, and I think we had about 50 participants for this. And the resource persons were Martin, Peter, and Nash. By then, Shishan was not in town, so Martin, Peter, and Nash did that, and it was wonderful, especially the resuscitation. So this is my first time of hearing resuscitation, and it's something that is going to help Ghana, and Bestel has taken that initiative.
That's fabulous. That's really good. So is that on the Tuesday, the 11th, where you did the basic resuscitation training program?
Yes.
Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes. And on the 14th of October, we had
just back up a bit. What about the Thursday, the 13th? You guys met with the GES management in Accra. What was that about?
I said that meeting didn't come on. That's why I skipped that one. Yes, but we had it later.
Yeah, Sorry. Okay, didn't go on. Okay.
Yes, that's why I've skipped that one. And also, in October, the 14th of October, we had our usual well-being training for the prison service at prison. Pictures now at the moment. In fact, my cameraman is working. I had this information a bit short, but so as soon as we get it, we'll put it on the screen.
So it'll be on the website, because I can't recall seeing the prison services photos.
No, we don't have that one.
Yeah. Okay, please tell us about that then.
Yeah, in Ghana, paving through the security agency to get reception is not an easy thing. Before you enter any prison yard, their office, even their homes or whatever, you have to get permits from the Ministry of Interior. And Bestel Ghana, we've been able to, discipline ourselves. So anytime we send letters to the Ministry of Interior, they gave us the permission to go to the prisons to train their officers. And sometimes we do that to the inmates, and then we also have that permit to enter the prisons, which we did this year. But before we went there, we did this on the 14th for the officers at the prison headquarters, and it went on very well as usual.
So what exactly do you train them on? Obviously, we know it's mental health, but can you be specific, a little bit more specific?
Anytime we go to them, they bring topics that will be, useful for them. And that's at the moment.
Okay.
But what I can assure you that the topics they brought was what they also delivered, to them. So on that note, since I'm a layman as far as the clinicians are concerned, I must tell you that this project went on very well this year. I can't go further.
Okay, just quickly on the screen now, we have Stella on TV. Can you just talk about that? Because I know that happened before, like the early days. So who went on which TV station and spoke about what?
Stella and Peter, they were on Pan-African television.
Mm-hmm.
They actually talked about what we do every year in Ghana.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yourself, you went on a show, didn't you?
Yes, I also went on a show with Nash and Peter. I mean, the same thing. They asked us about Bestel, what we've been done, our roadmaps, what we've been doing over the years, and the impact that I actually made on the country as a whole. So
okay.
we all talked about different issues.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, so moving on to the 7th, let's say the 16th. No, sorry, you went to Kumasi. So you left for Kumasi
on the 14th, when we finished with the prison headquarters. The next day, very early in the morning, we traveled to Kumasi. That's on the 15th. And on that same evening, that same day, 15th, we did a short inauguration to inaugurate the foundation in Kumasi. I mean, this is the first time we've been there before, but we actually made an official inauguration in Kumasi in that evening. We invited very few people to come for a drink up, and some few small chops, in that evening. And we entertained ourselves with the chief of Nkwantakasi. In fact, this chief, he's a paramount chief at Nkwantakasi. And for the past, I think the 3 years that we met for in Kumasi, he has actually given Bestel a 40-acre land to put up anything that we want to put up. So every year in Kumasi, we pay homage to this chief, Nana Nkwantakasi. And surprisingly, we thought we were going to meet him and maybe discuss about the land he was going to give us and all that. But we got there not knowing there was going to be a very big Durbar. The whole township was together waiting for us.
Amazing.
And surprisingly, too, before we got there, Nana invited us for a lunch before we go to the Durbar grounds. And he gave us the best of fufu in Kumasi on that day.
I can imagine.
Yeah, and on the grounds, Nana actually the meaning of this meeting was to assure better that he has actually given us the 40-acre land. Amen. And he promised that the next day, which is on the 17th, Nana himself took us to the 40-acre land. We went there and we felt the ground. We were on the ground. He showed us everything. And the beauty of this is
where is the land? Where is
the land? The land is at Nkwantakasi.
I'm sorry, where is that?
Nkwantakasi in Kumasi.
Oh, it's in Kumasi.
Okay. Yes, a 40-acre land that's actually been given to Bestel. And Otumfuo has also given us his blessing. Because of that, we formed Menshia Bestel Committee, which the work is ongoing. As I move on, you see what we are doing concerning this 40-acre land at Nkwantakasi. So we spent almost the whole day at Nkwantakasi at the Durbar grounds. And then on the 17th of October, we had a workshop. For that 17th of October, we had a workshop for the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association. And this was one of the biggest that we did in Kumasi. And the resource persons were Nash, Peter Martin, and then Susham. Susham was in town then. So it was a very big workshop that we did. It took us the whole day, to do that. We did it last year, and this year was bigger, Yes, and we'll move on to the 18th of October. The 18th of October, we met at the Otum Force conference room at Menchia Park. This is where the Menchia, Bestel, and Nkwantakasi committee met. Okay. And this meeting, the reason why this meeting was put together was that Anne-Mary came purposely for this meeting because we are using her expertise as an architect to see how best that land will be viable for Bestel to work on. So Anne-Mary was there to brief the whole meeting about what is out in London are going to support us in terms of doing the plans and the roadmap and how they're going to come out with their proposals and all that. Okay. And Menchia has promised, and this is on record, that they are going to support in terms of funding because of Otum Force influence. So as soon as we set the committee working, Otum Force is going to put his hand on whatever we are going to do so that they can go out and seek for funding. In Ghana, wherever Otum or whatever Otum Force is doing, everybody knows it's authentic. And that is where we are going to get funding, for whatever we are doing. So I must commend Bestel executives who came from UK. That is Stella, Nash, Peter, and the resource person that they came, Susham and Martin, who came to grace the occasion. Now Menchia has seen that Bestel, we are serious. So since they are in UK, now I'm also working with Menchia to make sure that this thing becomes possible. Now, if let's move to the 20th of October. The 20th of October is what they did a resuscitation training for prison staff at the Insawam medium prisons. That is on the 20th. That's when we've come back from Kumasi. We did this at the prison. We went to the prison yard itself, and we saw the prisoners, how they live and how they cope with the officers there. And let's give thanks to St. Andrew Hospital as well for releasing Martin for us, because Martin came to do all the resuscitation programs, and then he awarded certificates to all participants from the certificate from St. Andrews to all of them, and they appreciated Bestel for doing that. And we did same at the prisons medium at Insawam. We did same. We gave all the participants certificates, of which they appreciated what Bestel is doing for the past 5 years in Ghana. And on the 22nd of October, that is where I saw Stella praising her school, Holy Child. We went to Holy Child School in Cape Coast.
I think we've got the pictures for those.
Yes, I must confirm. I said that the way they answered questions and the way they interacted and the way they were, fluent, everybody was amazed. And that day we trained about 1,700 students on that day, including their headmistresses and their teachers and staff. When we finished, they didn't even want to go to dining for their lunch. They stayed in, asked questions, and our team also did very well. We had time for the students. We impacted that to them. And this is where, after this school's workshop, that myself and Stella went to the Ghana Education Service to tell them that all this thing will be needed to all schools, because initially the Director General of Ghana Education, when I sent the letter to him, he said, we can't do this for only one school. and they would like us to do it subsequently for other schools as well, because it's very educative from the way things went. So basically, we are keeping our fingers crossed to see next year if we get the support, basically, because everything we need support. And Bethel, we need this from our own pockets, so to speak. And we are hoping that in the near future, another Bethel, we are becoming. Today, I went to a forum in Accra. Bessa was in, we were invited by Databank. We met Databank when the team came. And they saw that every event that Mental Health Authority did, Bessa's name was mentioned everywhere in Ghana. So I was there, they brought me this invitation. So I spoke to the CEO, Stella, now we are being recognized, and we've been invited to this forum, and I'll go and represent Bessel, and it was fantastic.
Wow.
So,
wow, that's amazing. Really, really jam-packed agenda, I must say. You guys must be very, very exhausted running around the country, promoting Bethel and trying to make, obviously, a change within the community. It's hard work. How did you guys survive? Was there any parties going on? Did you guys have a big party after that?
Yeah, it was hectic, but somewhere along the line, we party inside, we enjoyed ourselves. So it didn't really become something like a job. We worked, but we enjoyed everything that we did.
Wow, that's good to hear. Well, you've been a blessing to Bethel. Well done for all the job that you do representing us, being a coordinator in Ghana. You've done marvelous, moving from Akosombo to Kaswa. That's quite a change. I'm glad you're close to home now, because obviously I'm in down someone. So next time I come, you'll be coming. You'll be coming from. Yeah, you won't be coming from Akosombo anymore. So welcome to Kaswa, and make sure you're there for us. Thank you so much. We're live on Diversity Radio. Streamer, you can stay with us. I will come back to you, so don't go now. We would like to talk to you. We haven't had a chat with you for a very long time, so please do not disappear. Very, very good job you've done. Giving us a brief about everything that's gone on in the last 2 weeks. We're live, as I said, on Diversity. On YouTube.
We do have some comments, Jacqui. So if you'd like to read them out.
Sure. On YouTube, on Facebook, please share this program to various platforms so people can see the work Bethel is doing, all the efforts, all the time, all the monies that's going into doing all these workshops and training. It is tremendous work. Visit the website, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Now the comments, it's amazing. I can see, we did celebrate Nash's birthday. So a belated birthday to Nash from Stella. Hard work and dedication. Very well narrated. I thought you told a story, very nice story, George, about the works that they've done. That's really good. Got Dee. Good evening, Dee. Welcome for joining in. Nathaniel Roach.
And Stella also mentioned that the topics that were covered were mental health, resuscitation, and dementia.
And dementia. The Kaswa project is amazing. I think we should continue to support Peter's fundraising work, which is a very good course, which is going to help the ladies with the ladies in the Kaswa community. That's a really, really good one. Now, any questions to still do food banks in the UK? Yes. I think Nathaniel, we talked about
He's
this.
asking about in Ghana.
Oh, in Ghana. Ghana, known in Ghana because majority of us are here, but in the UK, yes, we do food banks here. We do warm foods, and also the perishable foods as well. So so again, Nathaniel, pick up the number, contact Marian, Hilda, or Stella, and they'll be able to direct you. So now we are going to move into our next segment, because obviously we start the program a bit late. So we're going to whiz through this. We've got Miss Millie Hyde with us. So George, we would like you to stay because we'd like to talk to you in a little while. So please don't drop off. We're going to talk about Black History Month, because we've highlighted the mental health month. Now we're going to, briefly go over to our Black History Month. So we've got Millie Hyde on the screen, lovely lady, a childhood friend of mine. We asked her to grace the program. How are you, Millie? Are you still with us? Hello, Millie, are you there? So I hope you haven't muted yourself, Millie.
She has.
Hello, Millie. Good evening.
Can you hear me
How
now?
are you?
I'm good, thank you. And yourself?
So I'm okay, babe. So you're now live on Diversity Radio on Facebook. Can you tell us about yourself, who you are?
Okay, my name's Millie Hyde. I would say first, I'm a mother. And that's really a blessing to me. I'm also a poet. I write inspirational poetry.
Fabulous.
Yeah, and what else do you want to know?
You're simply fabulous. So you're here with us today because you're a fabulous writer. You're a writer. Yeah, I think you forgot about that.
I said I'm an inspirational poet, so yeah.
Okay, there you go. So we want the community to know about, our Black sister who is a poet and put fabulous things together. We're going to talk about Black History Month as well. Okay, so obviously we annually observe, originating in the US, where African American history, or I would say African British history, came from, which is received or recognized by all governments and obviously across the world. Okay, so we've recently just finished, obviously celebrating Black history. It could be leaders, could be actors, any individual, who we are. Okay, so today we've got you on here who's going to give us account your experience and what inspired you to write this fabulous poem for us. Okay, so before we go into it, if Big Joe, you can put the poem up for us, and then we'll go through the questions. We'll be also looking at Black history, the community being changed as well. So we've got a bit of an interesting discussion this evening. Have we got the poem running?
Realize your past starts when a clock strikes 0, 0, 0, 0. Do you realize how you spend your time is dictated by yourself? Do you realize you cannot blame a person or circumstances for what you have not done? Do you realize growth cannot come until you have overcome? We need to learn from and not dwell in the errors of our past. For many of our ancestors cried, died, and suffered as an outcast. They were humiliated, stripped, beaten, and raped for us to be free. So we cannot belittle their sacrifice by keeping our minds in captivity. So let's continue to stand up, stand strong with pride, with love and integrity, by acknowledging that one had to die so that we can live and have opportunities. Knowing that our contribution on this earth is for the whole human race. And acknowledging our divine maker to order our steps will give us that grace. For he said in his word that our gifts will make room for us and lead us before great men. Which means it is our divine gifts, not race, that can take us out of any negative den. So remember, the answer to continuous progress, it is not a mystery. It is our lives and our contributions that will add to our Black history.
Okay.
Couldn't hear anything, actually.
Yeah, it's done now. So, yeah, you can continue, Millie.
Right, you carry on.
Yeah, so Millie, are you with us?
I am, I'm here.
Okay, so what inspired you to write that poem, that piece?
I guess I wanted to make my own contribution towards Black History Month. I was born and raised here. And as you know, our schooling system here does not teach Black history. So what we know more is about the American Black history more than our own. And sometimes it's hard to see where you fit the culture of Africa, because our parents were born in Africa. They're teaching us the culture in a westernized world, and it's watered down. But we are the continuation of that culture. We are, whatever we lay forth, we're also part of that history, on whether we continue as a Black race or whether we disintegrate.
Fabulous. So what can, carry on. Sorry, Eva.
It's okay. So I was going to say, what are your views on Black History Month? Because I've asked you what inspired you to write that, but then what are your actual views on Black History Month? I think we spoke about this yesterday, and I wanted you to share it again with us because it was quite interesting what you said.
Okay, my views on Black History Month is the fact that we all carry something. We all part of this history. You know, as soon as the clock strikes midnight, our past has already started. So whatever steps we take now is going to be the continuation of what we want to see tomorrow. A lot of the time we focus on what's happened. We're meant to learn from it, not dwell in it. When we look at where we are now, we're not where our parents were. We're not where our grandparents were. You know. So the thing is, you know, every step that we take is not just about bringing the past with us. It's also embracing the future that comes with it. You know.
And do you think? Sorry to cut you. Do you think we as Black people we have to embrace our past because it's our history? But do you think sometimes we embrace it in a negative way too much? Or I mean, I don't even know how to use the right wording without speaking in a certain way. But you know, as Black people, do you think that we sometimes dwell on the negative past?
Definitely.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, I do understand what you're saying. You know, to be honest, there has been a lot of negativity to dwell on, but the key is to learn from it. What I mean, dwelling on it doesn't make you learn from it. It just fuels anger. Anger is not productive to a certain degree. Even if you're angry, you have to look for a better outcome, a positive outcome, an outcome that will bring a positive change, even if it's minute. We have to look for that change, you know, because if you think about when my parents came, my dad came in 1950s, so he came in an era of no Blacks, no Irish, no dots. Okay, the era that he lived is not the era that I'm living today. If he didn't go through what he went through, I wouldn't have what I had when I was younger. Do you see what I mean? So, and what my daughter has is more than what I had. The opportunities that they have now is more than the opportunities that we had when we were younger. So there is progression, but sometimes we don't see it because we focus so much on the negativity. We don't even see the steps that we've taken forward. You know, but the thing is, every step that we're taking our children with us, and they are the future. So if we don't give them that platform to be able to grow further, then basically we are going to feel like we're walking around in circles and not making much progress because we don't actually celebrate our small wins.
Exactly, and that's what I wanted to ask you. That, you know, there's a certain sort of segments that you used in your poem. And whilst I was listening to it, obviously talks about where we've come in terms of racism to where we are now. Okay. And also the pain we've gone through as well. It's quite interesting. And so, you know, Black History Month, in my view, is to celebrate, you know, who we are now, how strong we are now, and who we can become, or our children can become. You see what I mean?
Yeah,
Not
and also to
ignoring
celebrate,
the fact.
and also to celebrate our past, you know, because at the end of the day, we are seeing what a lot of our ancestors years ago did not see. So we have to also acknowledge them, that if they hadn't made those movements, we wouldn't be where we are now.
Exactly. So not forgetting the past or our grandfathers, you know, all the pain they went through, and for us to enjoy the comfortability we have now as Black people. Okay. So yeah, that was something I want you to obviously elaborate, you know, as you know, for with our children, some of them do not know about all these things. Okay. And also which some Black history are not being taught in schools, as you know. There's quite a movement that is trying to change the curriculum for, you know, all these young people to know that, you know, obviously the Windrush happening or slavery happening or blah, 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 a whole lot of things happening. Okay. So, you know, our views of Black History Month is actually to be celebrating and also looking at the positive side. All these leaders, all these celebrities, all these, you know, people making a difference within the community. Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, tell us about that. If you've got any, you know, any views to tell us about, you know, what else can we look to celebrate Black history or Black, you know, excellence, I should say.
I mean, Black excellence is all around us. It's just that not everybody has the platform. That is the problem. We tend to dwell on the people that have the platform and put all the weight on their shoulders of, you know, of what they need to do to prove that Black people are positive, Black people are great, and Black people are skilled. No, we all have that responsibility to do that, you know. And some of us may not have the platform, but you know, I remember saying, it said that to change the world, you don't need to change the world. You just need to change one person. And a lot of the time we look at the quantity of people rather than the quality of the people that we're affecting or the quality of the people that we're impacting, you know. So we all have that platform, we all have that responsibility. And even look at what George was saying, you know, about what Bastel was doing. I thought that was absolutely amazing. And the way he rated what they'd done the whole of October and the townships that they went to in Ghana and how much they raised, and that is impactful. The whole world might not hear it, but it doesn't mean he didn't make an impact. He's made a great impact. He may have come back to the UK and the UK may be his home, but he has also formed part of history because he's also changed someone's life. We have that impact. We all have that ability. And sometimes you know, we have to look within as well as just out. Yeah.
Okay. One thing I thought is also important is our culture. Now, Black History Month in schools, we do celebrate a lot of different cultures. So obviously the African culture, the Asian culture, obviously the Chinese culture, different cultures. So it's about, even though it's a Black theme,
they do
other races, other races or diverse cultures do take the advantage to explore their culture. So for example, they do it in foods. And again, obviously, I don't know if you've done any poems, so next one could be focusing on our dishes. Because I know you do fabulous cocktails and all, you know. You know, with the foods, Black History Month, we talk about the jollof rice all the time. We talk about the curry, the Jamaican curry goat, and the curry peas, rice and peas. You know, so it could be celebrated in terms of the dance, you know, the clothes, culture, a whole lot of areas that covers Black History Month. What's your views on that?
I think it's a good idea. Because I was fortunate to grow up in London. London is a melting pot. If you want to go to Nigeria, you don't need to go far. If you want to go to Uganda, you don't need to go far. Everything is within London, you know. So when I say Black history, it's not just about Ghana. It's just about Black about tribes. Because as far as I was concerned, you were Black growing up.
Yeah.
So it's just about learning about each other's cultures, what each other's life and stuff like that. So I guess the Black History Month enables everyone to be more open and receptive to other people's cultures, if that makes sense.
Exactly.
But these are cultures that we live every day behind closed doors. So that's why it doesn't feel like Black History Month for us. Every day is Black History.
Every day is Black,
Exactly. But it's Black History Month for the people around us to get to know us more and what our culture and our foods and music. And because if you look at even mainstream, you know, Afrobeat is doing very well. Dancehall is doing very well.
Far. It's now commercial.
I was going to say something. So like back in the day, I remember years ago when we were going to Ghana, this was early 90s, there was like a few people going to Ghana, but now it's like it's like a movement, you know.
It is.
It's like a movement. It's like if you're not in Ghana, all these young people, oh, we're going to Ghana, oh, we're going to see this, we're going to see Chatawale, I'm thinking, our time, we didn't have anything like that to go and see somebody's, because, you know, we're going, okay, Christmas, you go and see somebody.
It was more raving, wasn't it? It was
more raving. So it has changed. The whole dynamic about the Black history or the culture has changed. And as you said, Afrobeat has played a huge role in, you know, changing or acknowledge that obviously they are now being acceptable being Africans or Jamaicans or whatever. And obviously they're British as well.
Yeah, but people had to be pioneers for that. I mean, Dennis Tyra, he's one of them. I mean, you know, Ghana Independence Day or Miss Ghana was a major thing when I was younger, you know?
Oh, yes.
But that enabled us to connect back to our culture. That even now, our youngsters, you know, don't see that as a big thing. It's part of the calendar, it's part of the curriculum for the year. To take it with ease.
Definitely. And it's now, you see it in our movies. It's you know, we're influencing the world globally, the Black culture and African culture. I mean, you see it in Wakanda Forever, you know, what other film?
It's everywhere.
King. All the films now, you know, they're inspired by West African culture, you know, and West African history. So
as opposed to when we were growing up, we only had Denzel Washington and Eddie Murphy.
And African American films. We only had African American films that we could connect to, and they were quite negative because they were always focusing on the Black man cheating, or you know, it was always about Black relationships and how terrible they were.
But I remember the Cosby Show. The Cosby Show was like a good example of how perfect family should be, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know, but we never had like a proper British version over here. Do you see what I mean? We didn't really see those positive
we had Desmond.
Black families. Do you see what I mean?
So we had Desmond, isn't it? Did you say Desmond?
Yeah, we did have Desmond, and we had the real McCoy, but they were always on a certain time. You know what I mean? And if you're young, you might not catch it. You know, but now we do have more programs. We do have more awareness. You know, you see Mo Gilligan, you see Eddie Caddy, you see all these people. Stormzy,
and there's a lot more. Yeah, there's a lot more diversity, inclusions, even in our news, like. And our TV shows, you see Black people are quite dominant. There has to be a Black person on a show now, like Loose Women, and you know, there's
even
always
adverts. Yeah. So the change is happening, but it's subtle. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when you look back, you see how far we've actually come. We've come a long way. And it doesn't mean we should stop. It just means that we should continue being what we have been called to be. And whatever gift that is to you, do it. Do it with all your might. Because you don't know the impact that you're having on someone else.
Amazing.
Exactly. So obviously be inspirational so that the young people can see what we are doing, and obviously and having an impact on the community. So yeah, is there anything else that you wanted to share with us, Millie, before we show these 2 videos?
No, I think I'll leave it there because okay. I'm warming up and I think I can talk too much, so I'm going to leave it there.
We love having you here, so we're going to have you on again.
I know. Are you guys sure the poem was played properly? Because I couldn't hear it playing.
It was.
Okay, so if we can show those 2 videos, please.
Yeah.
In fact, can I just share one poem again? I shared it with you before. Pursue inside of you that needs to be activated for my glory to shine through. Everyone was made for my glory to shine. I did not leave one person behind. You need to let go of how you see you for your purpose to nurture and grow through. Yes, it is true that through lack of knowledge, my children perish, and approval of man they often cherish. Yes, it can bring short-time gain, which will then quickly transform into pain. You see, you need to let go of how you see you for your purpose to nurture and grow through. Anything built without me can't really stand. It's like building property on sinking sand. That is not what I purpose for your life to be, for your riches to go with you to the cemetery. I created for you to leave on earth a legacy that through you people will aspire to be in their divine position of authority, to sow into future generations ability of everything that they've been called to be. So you see, the purpose seed that you have, it's not just for you. It's for your friends, family, and future generations too. It does not matter where you've been and done. It's for this reason I sent my only begotten Son, to set you free from every sin, so that the process of your purpose seed can begin. Your purpose seed is what I've sown within your heart. Strengthen your relationship with me, and you see that I've set you apart. You see, I've created you to be a leader and not a follower, to be a lender and not a borrower. So if you're not witnessing this from where you stand, come to me and I'll take you to your appointed land. Amen.
Oh, wow.
Thank you so much. That was amazing.
Very deep.
Very deep.
Very deep.
And I remember you you shared that with us at my event. Remember some years ago at Barclays? Yeah. That was amazing. Wow. Everyone was like, wow.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Millie. Like you've really
Thank you so much. If we can show the video for us, please. Wow.
Black History Month. Let's start from the beginning and find out who created it. Well, a black man born in the US in 1875 named Carter G. Woodson studied history throughout his life, and he worked hard to promote Black history in schools. He then created Black History Week, which then turned into a whole month. It was originally founded to recognize the contributions of people from African and Caribbean backgrounds. In the United States, it's in February, but in the UK, it's in October. You may be thinking, why isn't there a History Month for other races and ethnicities? Well, there is an East and Southeast Asian Heritage Month, but they're perhaps not as widely known as Black History Month. And when it comes to other races, while they don't all have an official History Month that's been formally recognized, they do celebrate their history in lots of other ways. So, why is Black History Month important? Let me explain. Black people have lived in the UK for hundreds of years and play a key part in British history. However, some people believe that their stories have not always been told and can often be overlooked. Many campaigners want schools to include more Black history in lessons, so Black History Month is a time to celebrate those people and their stories. So, now we know who created it and why, but how do people celebrate it? There's a few, so I need a deep breath. School fairs, learning about Black history, awards, TV shows, reading books by Black authors, cooking events, supporting Black businesses, attending Black history events, donating to charities, and many, many more. Now you're all set, but don't mind me. I just need to go and catch my breath.
Black History Month is a month dedicated to celebrating Black history. Although it's now global, the concept was pioneered in the United States. In 1926, a man named Dr. Carter G. Woodson established Black History Week to promote the teaching of America's Black history in public schools. In 1970, Kent State University hosted the first Black History Month on their campus. By 1976, the event was being observed across the country and was officially recognized by President Gerald Ford. In 1987, the Ghanaian-born activist Akiaba Adesebu worked with the Greater London Council to establish Black History Month in London. Today, it's celebrated by schools, institutions, and companies nationwide. In the US, Black History Month is celebrated in February to honor the birthdays of the abolitionist Frederick Douglass and the US President Abraham Lincoln. In the UK, it's celebrated in October so that Black children may begin their academic year with a sense of pride.
We done?
Yeah.
Yeah, so those were just highlighting founder of Black History Month.
Very interesting.
Very interesting one where Americans, celebrate in February and we do it in the October. Obviously, the different areas, businesses, food, culture, music, acting, musicians. There's so many areas, as Millie said, that we should be, whatever is in you, put it out there so that you could inspire somebody, So yeah, there we go. So we want to thank Millie. Millie, are you there? Thank you so much for gracing the second half of the program, celebrating and highlighting Black History Month. Thank you so much. Please send us more information. We would like You want to say anything else? I think you wanted to say something.
No, I just want to say thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome.
I really appreciate it.
No, we appreciate you for coming and telling us about your not your story, your writing, your poem. It's really, really good. Thank you so much for accepting. Thanks a lot.
Bless you. I appreciate it.
George, where are you still there? What do you think about our poet?
Yeah,
George is in Ghana, by the way.
Maybe. Yeah, in fact, I've listened to it, the poems, and I must say, Millie is a fantastic lady.
Yes,
I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed it so much. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you to the both of you. You've made the show really good, and we've been able to integrate mental health and Black History Month successfully. So you should give yourself a pat on the back for that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So at this point, we're just going to conclude. Obviously, we're going to continue promoting Bestel. That's the reason why we're here. Obviously, we've got the staffing. We do need the money as well. I think the bank details are on the website. Also, Big Joe can put the information on the screen for us. Every little money helps us, obviously, do the job, the fabulous work that they've done in Ghana. We are stronger in partnerships. As you can see, the wonderful pictures that were put onto the screen. We've got professionals, we've got psychologists, psychiatrists, we've got mental health consultants, we've got people, that are supporting this course, the mental health course. We never give up. We listen to everybody as well. Obviously, as George said, they're working tirelessly in Ghana. They've got a dream, we've got an aim, we've got the land. We can't do this without the money. So we do need the support. Do visit our website and make a donation if you can. So again, they'll be going to Ghana next October. In the meantime, we're still doing our works in the UK. We are supporting our services. The professionals are still here. You can contact anybody if you prefer. Call the numbers that's on the screen. Visit our social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and the website, and you should get access of us.
Yeah, and also Eva and Jacqui. Yeah, Eva and Jacqui, can I make some shout outs to some few people who actually supported us this year?
Of course.
Yes, let me just acknowledge these gentlemen who actually supported us this year. The first one is Nana Williams. I know him to be Nana Williams. He actually to Kumasi, and we are grateful to this gentleman. It's called Nana Williams. That's the name
Nana
I know.
Williams.
But
so
yes,
kudos
I'm
to
now
Nana Williams.
Yes, Nana Williams. I'm now doing my report, and I'll be acknowledging all of them in the report. And the next one is Mr. Kwame Amofa. He's known as the owner of Kingdom Herbal in Ghana. He's got Martin. They all lived in that mansion at
What's the name of the
luxurious guy? It's called Kwame Amofa.
Kwame Amofa. Okay.
Yes, Kwame Amofa, the owner of Kingdom Herbal.
And Kingdom Radio. And Kingdom Radio, yes. Jacqui.
Is it Kingdom Radio?
Where yes, Kingdom Radio. Kingdom Radio.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gave us his whole mansion for the
He gave you lot the whole mansion?
Yes. That's where all the clinicians lived. Yes, whilst they were in Ghana.
Wow.
And he's promised gentleman, I also paid. Yeah. You know Franco Trading Enterprise. He's the owner of Francophones.
Oh, Francophones.
The CEO of Francophones, Frank. Yeah. He gave us a luxury. Yeah, Francophone. He gave us a luxury Lexus 4-wheel drive, and that's the luxury car. Peter Sisham, Martin, they use that car especially for clinicians.
Wherever they went, a 4x4. Mama would say 4-wheel drive.
And we are grateful to him, Franco. Yes.
Well done.
He's been supporting us anytime in Ghana. He gives us this luxury vehicle for our clinicians, and he's doing that consistently, you know. And the last person I would like to acknowledge at the moment is Nash. You know, Nash lives in Ekropon. He's got his house in Ekropon, and Nash is a friend to Kwame Amofa. Okay. And through Nash, Bestel got to know Kwame Amofa. And Bestel in Ghana this year, Nash also gave us his mansion in Ekropon for all of us to live in. The rest of the Bestel team, we all lived in Nash's house in Ekropon, and we enjoyed ourselves between these houses. The houses are opposite, you know, they're opposite houses. Really? So we shuttled these two houses. We go here and eat, we go there and drink, we go here and eat, and we enjoyed ourselves. Nash also introduced something in Ghana.
Oh, wow! I think he's dropped off. So we're going to say kudos to Nash, who gave us a mansion for all our guests to stay in, and Mr. Amofa, isn't it?
Yeah, Kingdom.
Mr. Is it Kwame? He said Kwame Amofa. Wow.
Yes, and Francophones, Frank.
And Francophones, who gave us the 4-wheel drive. Next time we're in Ghana, we need to contact these guys.
Okay, so we have to bring the show to an end. It's been amazing, though, hasn't it?
Sorry?
I said it's been amazing. We had a bit of a rocky start, but we've ended
you can finish
very
off,
well.
Eva.
Yeah, we've had an amazing show. Speaking about mental health awareness week and month and what Bestel did in Ghana. And also we had the amazing Millie, who, you know, contributed to our conversation on Black History Month. And it's been a good show. And we just want to say a big thank you to Stella, our CEO, and our patron, Peter, as well. Stella tuned in, so thank you. And yeah, so you've been watching the Wellbeing Show, which is brought to you by Best Self Foundation. We stream live every 2 weeks on Diversity Radio on Facebook and also on Best Self Foundation's YouTube page. Please share with your family and friends. And also, if you'd like to contribute to conversations, topics, you can always contact us on our website. There's contact numbers. You can get involved. It's an interactive show. And we're here for the community. So, you know, it's your show. It's for you to tell us also what you want to hear. Big thank you to my co-host, Jacqui, who is the pillar behind the show, I'd say. Yeah, it's good to give thanks now and again and appreciate one another.
Of course.
And a big thank you to our sponsors. Without them and our partners, this show wouldn't be able to go on. And what part of our mission is, was it our mission or in the beginning, is to working in partnership, we're more powerful. And
exactly.
You know, like I said, without our partners and without each other, we wouldn't be able to have this show. So a big thank you to NHS South London and Maudsley and the National Lottery Community Fund, and also to 60 Creative Studios, 60 Seconds Creative Studios, who's Samson, who does our flyers and does all our social media. Big thank you to him. Also, Diversity Radio, where we stream live. Real Insight Consultant, which I forgot to mention before, which belongs to Nash. He is one of our big consultants. A big thank you to him. Also, Base, Become a Successful Entrepreneur, which belongs to yourself, Jacqui. We can't even stream.
We are not going to be here. And obviously, we've taken a bit of his time. So we are going to let him go. And so thank you so much, guys. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
Yes,
Have a
thank
good
you
evening.
so much.
Thank you, Millie. And thank you, George, for showing up tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much to Millie and George. They've been amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Miss New Love and I'm one of the hosts of a brand new show brought to you by Best Self Foundation. The Wellbeing Show is to help reach BAME families, to help with mental health, support and emotional needs. The Wellbeing Show streams live every Tuesday at 8 to 9 p.m. on Diversity Radio via Facebook, YouTube and Mixcloud. So tell your family and friends to tune in as we discuss topics that affect our well-being. The Wellbeing Show is proudly sponsored by NHS South London and Maudsley, the National Lottery Community Fund, and partnered with Real Insight, Base, 60 Seconds Creative Studio, and Gold Diggers Talk Show.